Hello, hi everybody, how you doing? I went live because I wanna discuss an interesting phenomena. So I don't know if you know, but in the Iranian community, there is a lot of mistrust of each other because some people who seem to be working against the Iranian regime are actually control the position, and others that seem to be supporting whatever, like. The fun part is, of course, that there is some sort of a controlled opposition by every direction. And sometimes people are just complex, like they have complex views on the world. And I thought I'd pop in just to share this specific tweet with you and see what you think. Just very quickly. Hello. Can you guys see me? Hope you can see me. Okay, so this is the message that I felt was extremely intriguing, and the more I looked in Masih Alinejad profile, like her tweets, the more she managed to confuse me. So here she says, to Netanyahu, you issued an evacuation warning at 2 a.m., hours before a strike, expecting civilians under near total internet blackout to see it. Even in daylight, most Iranians cannot access uncensored information, expecting midnight missiles alerts to reach them in unrealistic. Expecting midnight missile alerts to reach them is unrealistic and dangerous. This puts innocent people, not regime forces, at risk. Iranians are hostages, not enemies. They've stood up to this regime with empty hands, while the world stayed silent. Do not kill the people of Iran fighting for our freedom. But here's the interesting thing. Look at the comments here. So that's a fun one. Iran should hack state-run media, which Israel did. So, I suspect Masih Alinejad might be poisonous. I don't trust Masih Alinejad, but I want to show you several comments that are interesting before I tell you what my opinion is. Because here's the thing. Iranians should already know not to be close to regime buildings or complex. That's, by the way, if there's somebody who I really think is an idiot that is actually doing takia, that is him, John Aziz. He is a Palestinian who is advocating for a two-state solution and peace between the nations. There is something extremely like it only works if the person in front of you is so delusional that they cannot see reality about the Arab society. I don't trust anyone who grew up as a Palestinian who thinks there is an option for peace. It makes them atakia liars, because it's one thing to be even an Israeli Arab or whatever and be like a privileged person who can, I don't know, close their eyes when it's comfortable. And it's very different if you're Palestinians when you're Palestinian and you don't have that privilege. So pretending like there is anyone there that is peaceful is like this person, Takia. I don't trust him at all. At all. I hate people like that. And anyway, so here's the thing. A lot of people, like, she expresses support to that idea. And this is Israelis. The Iranian the Iranian regime turned at the internet. Iranians, we need more help. So you see those interesting reactions in this one. Instead of criticizing, offer help on constructive solution. And here's the interesting one. Here's what it says, Liz. Inside of Iran, they know when they have to evacuate because they got a message before the internet fell. And then Israel sent them a message on the phone, so like a text message. So this is an interesting thing that it says is like, oh, wait, like inside of Iran, Iranians got a text message that told them to evacuate way before that went online. So what are you talking about, kind of thing? And here it's like another one in Persian, I'm guessing. I mean, I think that is something like the eyes of Abbas. I don't know who Abbas. I mean, there are a lot of people who claim that she works for the Iranian regime. That is a very common thing. And it's like, enough with the slogan. And here's another one. It's like, Khamenei is a, yeah, I don't know what's it about. Khamenei is a traitor. Anyway, there are a lot of different comments here. And I think I saved another one in Persian that I thought was interesting. This one, don't know who that is, but this is a war. We are lucky. We are dealing with a really powerful technology that does the work. I beg you this time, take it seriously and stop playing games and getting like trying to avoid things. I beg you, this is not a game where you say, do this, do that, don't do this, do that, do this here and this. It's like, stop meddling. Let us like we have to make sure this work would be finished. Kind of, I think this is what he meant with this statement. And it's insane. Masih, do not just try to say something popular. Encourage people to stay away from dangerous places and be alert and patient. So there is this game here, right? So on one hand, insane. Women inside Iran are telling me missiles are flying, people are running for their lives, fleeing war zones, zero sirens, zero shelters, zero warning, but the regime is sending automated hijab threats, seizing cars if women don't cover their hair. Shameless, leave women alone. And I just thought it's interesting. Like, do not say the word Iran when you built a whole city for Hassan Nasrallah and you don't and the people of Tehran don't even have a shelter. And this Persian rebel is saying, you yourself are the most, I don't know who this person is, but it says like, you are the most pro-Hezbollah person in the world. You just put on a mask and pretend to be, and to pretend it to be an opposition. Go find yourself a hole. So it's very interesting to see like there is such a low trust in the Iranian society, and a lot of different activists don't trust each other. They don't trust each other, and you can see that here, where you have this weird, interesting messages. And I actually want to show, by the way, she did share Masih Alinejad to Trump, telling 10 million people in Tehran to evacuate. It's not just unrealistic, but also impossible. The airports are closed, the roads are blocked, and not everyone has a car. And the whole nation is held hostage by the Islamic Republic. Your enemy is Khamenei and not the innocent civilians that are captured, which sounds a lot like trying to, right, with the call to Netanyahu, it sounds a lot like trying to generate pressure to lower the intensity of the strikes on Israel, right? So on one hand, it's like she hates the regime. On the other hand, it sounds like she's trying to generate every action that would maybe some international pressure to make Israel, to basically hold, kind of like, hold Israel to impossible standards so that they wouldn't be able to do their work properly. That's on one hand. So that's how it sounds like, right? Like this is how it sounds like. And it's like someone's like, tell that woman not to be an asshole in that situation. The roads in Tehran are open and you can live. My friends and I, we all left. This is really the minimum that they have to pay. You cannot also have a donkey and dates, which I guess it's kind of an Iranian proverb, which is hilarious. And then, of course, there's somebody saying, just because you could have left and you did it, doesn't mean everybody should. There are still millions of people in town. So you can see this kind of conversation between Iranians. And saying, Rebecca, ma'am, I think mostly Iran elite society is supporting Israel. The rest of Iran current regime not surrendering, mostly non-elite society, and are playing religion cards to fight. I think. What are your thoughts? So I think you are basically you're right. We have to remember that even though they hate the regime, it doesn't mean that they know anything about Israel at all. So it doesn't necessarily mean those who never left the country, do they support Israel, right? I said, like, my experience with with Iranians, it was always positive, but we also have, like, obviously it's biased because all the Iranians I've met outside of Iran, meaning they could leave the country, meaning they were already in a certain level, right? I'm guessing there are people who never left the country and they might be different. So it is something to take. So this is why I thought it would be fun I actually saved it. So let me find it for a sec. I saved the comment here. So that was, okay. Here, I found it. Check this out. Not this, not that, no. Here, okay. So here this says, the insistence of the Islamic Republic to continue and have this fighting with Israel is based on delusions, ideological slogans, and unrealistic calculations. It won't have any other result but the destruction of Iran. It will be a disaster that would be not only political, and with a price that is not only political but also human and and also security wise, like it would be a very high price, not only politically but in human and in safety. And what else is that those prices would be paid with people's lives that have no role or authority in taking those decisions. Until when would the Iranian people have to pay the price for a war that was not that they didn't choose and not for the people, right? Not for in their favor. And I thought this reaction was interesting. And it says, everybody who removes the part of Zionism and imperialism in this regional war and only talks and criticizes the Islamic Republic is actually an Israeli sword, like a sword person. No, like, when you pay to fight, whatever, I forgot. Why is it my Google doesn't go from Persian to English? It would have made my life easier. So anyway, the way for liberation is not by remaining silent against the Zionism and imperialism, but with revolution against Zionism and imperialism. So this person is actually saying that no, she must be a Zionist. Nobody is happy that their country is attacked. It's a complete lie, and only Israel is doing a propaganda out of the misery and suffering of the people. This war is turning the people dependent in the Islamic Republic because it wants safety and security. And still, these people are also those who, I don't know what it means actually, Islamut. Nah, and nobody will come to our help. So that's another perspective. So I thought it's also an interesting thing, right? Like, on one hand, she kind of reveals all the atrocities that are happening inside of Iran. On the second hand, because she throws in comments against Netanyahu and like claiming that, 10 million people cannot evacuate and things like that, things that clearly maybe she doesn't have any control over. And maybe that's what she counts on, like, throwing in things like that and understanding like, okay, those comments won't make any difference. Clearly, all of the ruling echelon around the world that is Western had decided to align. I also want to say something, that there are only two public opinions that actually matter in this war. And I would say 2 and 2.1, right? So the third one is 10th as important as the first two. So the most important public opinion is the Iranian. The second most important is the Israeli. And the third is the American, but maybe. But even that, not that much. Like I said, 10th or maybe less than that. And not because like there is no chance that America would join the war and therefore it's like it's their business, but mostly because the American people and the army are way more removed. Like they're different people. Okay, those who go to the army, first of all, soldiers. I'm sorry, soldiers on duty. I don't know how your soldiers are, but I'm guessing the American soldiers and the Israeli soldiers are kind of similar. The biggest warmongers are young soldiers, okay? Those are the biggest warmongers. And if they have an option to do something as cool as bomb the Iranian nuclear facilities in Fordo, I want to see a pilot or somebody who is a soldier saying, oh my God, that sounds like something I wouldn't do. Like, no, they're gonna say, oh my God, that's the coolest thing ever. Yes, I'm there. Where are we going? Like that's how soldiers are. So because of that, right, those who actually do things are more keen to do that. The other problem is, of course, is that if America joins in, they're gonna target the Arabs way more. But I think it's doable. Like it's doable. It's a war that is doable. And also I want to say that this is a war that, like the German chancellor had said that he supports it. Clearly Britain supports it. France is like, they're losers, but in reality, the world, this is something that is, the whole Western world is behind that. It's critical for the Western world, for this connection. Like China was really counting on Iran. By the way, like one of the biggest problems right now is the geopolitical situation, like China, Turkey, and Russia, like especially China and Turkey, they were purchasing oil and gas like with ridiculous prices, right? Really cheaply from Iran, because Iran didn't have any clients. Believe me. And then China invested a lot of money to build like a huge road as part of their Silk Road dream in Iran. So which is, I think it's the only infrastructure that actually came to fruition, because my guess is that it was 100% funded and like it was a Chinese project. So I bet they were actually like supervising it and making sure the Iranians are not taking cuts out of it. So it happened. And I saw the images. It's kind of impressive. But the West is behind it, right? So the West understands the significance of it. So those who actually, so the only people who their opinion matters is the Israelis and the Iranians. The Iranians have to prove to the world that they can have a different regime. So it's not only, so if the impression that Israel had, like, because this is something that a lot of Israeli officials come and say, like, the impressions we get from the ground in Iran is very positive. And also a lot of Iranians have been, I actually kind of want to find it, because this is something cool. So I want to find this tweet. I didn't say it myself, but I heard somebody talk about it. So this is the IDF complaining. I think maybe in Parsi they did. This is, that's Farsi. The Farsi one is super important. What's impossible? So I need to find it. Anyway, I don't know if it's gonna be easy considering it's all in Persian, but okay, I'll find it in a second. But anyway, I was saying that so the Persian, like the Iranians, they have to build their country. They have to take over, which means that some of them might lose their lives, because those who control, like the Basij and the Sepah and all the Iranian control mechanisms, are brutal. They murder without thinking. One of the comments on Masih Alinejad, like one of the tweets, one of them in Persian that I remember actually said, okay, fine, like so some people are gonna die on the Israeli airstrikes, but how many more does the Iranian regime kill? Like, you cannot even compare the amount of casualties between the Israelis and the Iranians. So those who pay the biggest price are the Israelis and the Iranians. So the Iranians, they have to change their mindset as well, right? So they need to feel like they can trust the system, and if they go out and start changing and everything like that, and that it wouldn't turn into a civil war, so that there is a plan. So comments like, you know, that make, like, things that make the Iranians believe that they're gonna be abandoned halfway, or that nobody's gonna be there to support them. You know, those are things that's like they tried. I'm gonna say honestly, like Israel probably had tried to change the regime in Iran, and that's not the first time, right? They tried doing it many times before, and every time the Iranian regime outsmarted them, right? They tried to give in the support, they tried doing everything, and I think now they realize unless you do it clearly in the open, and also while striking the nuclear facilities, that's probably going to work. That's the hope. And also you can see the Israeli ministers and Netanyahu, like their messages are very clear, like we trust the Iranian people, whatever the Iranian people decide, we're with them. Like the Cyrus Accords, by the way, the Cyrus Accords, people on both sides, people Cyrus declaration, right? Cyrus is being like the long history that Jews and Persians share. Those are things that people on both sides tell over and over again, because on one hand, the Persians, the Iranians need to rise up and take responsibility and do things that are hard to rebuild their country and to fight against the oppressive, super oppressive and smart regime. Don't forget that they had to control their own population with force, meaning their mechanisms are super complex, and they have million organizations with different names that basically do the same thing, and they don't even know of each other, so that there would be control. So so it's hard, right? So it's something that the Iranians they have to feel like there is a hope, and that their country is not going to fall apart, and that there is a plan. And on the other side, Israel is working hard on a plan. And that plan, first of all, it's expensive, right? Israel is putting a lot of money and personnel and training. Like they do, I cannot explain, like every layer of Israeli society right now is working hard to make that vision happen, to on different in different ways, right? Whether by contacting Iranians they know, whether by sending out messages, or by just showing support, just going out, or participating in a war, or literally running around Iran right now trying to make things better and bombing places like the police, right? The police, why was the police in Iran, what does it have to do with fighting with Israel? Why was the police removed, right? It doesn't make sense for it to be just about Israel, obviously. So, and the choice of operation, Rising Lion, like, I think in Persian it's Talua. I wrote it to myself. Talua something. Talua. Anyway, it's all indicating that there is a real want for change, but that is expensive on the Israeli side, and it's people, and obviously, but on our side, it feels like, first of all, like getting those barrages and doing the militaristic stuff, that is necessary and everybody understands it, but trying to rebuild Iran and investing that and going all the way, like, and trying, and not just getting into a place of chaos, that requires even more work, which the Israelis have to feel like there is hope, right? That the Iranians won't hate them, that things can change, and that if Israel goes through all those steps and there is a new regime, would that regime also be against Israel? Like, we are very used to that in the Middle East, supporting our neighbors, supporting Muslims. Usually they stab you in the back. So yeah, that's fun. I mean, so and if there is not going to be that much support for all those steps that are needed to make sure that the operation is completed from the Israeli side, it's also a risk. So those two populations are the ones that matter. So the Iranian side is trying to convince the Israelis that the Iranians hate them, that yes, they hate the regime, but they also hate Israel. And if they manage to convince Israelis that not only that yes, even though the Iranians hate the regime, they also hate Israel, Israelis would be way more, or what I say, like way less motivated to help Iran. And it would be like that. And I saw that some people in our side, like some old men on TV, was like, no, the Iranians hate us. Like, why do we need to go through all of that? Let's just stop it, like bombing the ballistic missile manufacturing places, and then after that, like, let them, like, let's keep the regime, whatever, who cares, right? So I saw that. So the Iranians, the smartest things for the Iranian side to do is to convince Israelis that Iranians don't like them. So that Iranians don't like Israel. They hate the regime, and they also don't like Israel. So, and I also saw the same kind of messaging going around in another's, someone else's, like Mario Naufel, something like that. So he had a space, and somebody from Iran had spoke up their mind, and she was like, yeah, I'm against the regime. The regime is bad, but I don't know, Israel is bad. And here's the thing, it sounds like, okay, they hate the regime, so they want it to fall, so it's like it would give the impression that, okay, yes, people want the regime gone, but the people who can make it happen are the Israelis. And if the Israelis feel that the Iranians would be ungrateful about it, they wouldn't want to do it, not all the way through. They would stop at like, no, okay, we are safe now. Now you deal with your shit, you know? And I think because, and one person that I feel like realized it is Armin Navabi. And what he did, he goes around, like he asked Iranians, like, listen, I need you to send me messages that you say thank you to Israel. Thank you, Netanyahu. Thank you to Israel. And this is super important. That's like the most important thing you could do. Because I think Armin realized that if the Israelis would feel like, yes, they hate the regime and they want to change the regime, but they hate us, they're gonna be against investing all that money, all those extra support, all these extra attacks. Every bomb drop, like everything costs money. They're gonna be against it. And then, yes, the regime would lose their like ballistic missile facility, like manufacturers and factories, and lose their nukes, but they're not gonna lose the government, because Israel would have no incentive to bomb places like the Basij or the police headquarters or things like that. So I think I am. So if there's someone who really impresses me, that would be Almin. Almin is amazing. And of course, on the other side, right, the Iranians must need to get the impression that there is a plan. That there is a plan, and that Iran would be rebuilt, and there is nothing to worry about, and things are going to be good. So this is my rant, and I thought it'd be 15 minutes, but I ended up talking 30 minutes. But I kind of want to find, where is it? That message that I thought was really funny. I think I told you yesterday, right? So I told you that a lot of Israelis have been getting like requests saying, hey, this here are the coordinates of this and that, please strike that. And I think, where is this? I want to find this tweet. I'm never gonna find it. I hope they did it in English as well, otherwise I would not understand, like I wouldn't find it as fast. When did they publish it? I have to find it. Here, I let you watch the screen with me so you guys won't be bored. I feel like it's boring to just watch my face while I'm scrolling, trying to find this. I'm pretty sure I saw like... this talks about the warning. No, I wanna see the part where, okay, so from what somebody told me, that they made a post saying that, okay, the IDF had been getting a lot of strike requests from Iranians, but just so you know, like, this is the Mossad job, so please send all those coordinates to the Mossad, and here's their number. I want to find it. Come on, where is it? Mossad. Like, it's such a IDF thing to do. Just drop the work on Mossad, you know. It's like, no, it's like, I remember, like, as a soldier, every time something was out of my scope, and I was like, no, that's not my job. I can drop it. I can give it, like, to the next person. I was so happy. So I thought it would be, this is how I imagine it was written, the kind of language. Ugh, come on. Maybe it's this. Anyway, feel like I'm ignoring you all. Nope, not this one. No, I want to see the message where they said, okay, go to the Mossad. Here's their number. Something like that. Okay, have you guys seen anything cool? Let's see. Nah, I cannot find it. Maybe I've been fooled. Maybe it's this one? I don't speak it. We have targets. I don't know. Why can't you see my screen? What screen are you seeing? How many of them do I have open? Sorry. Oops. Oops, you guys. I'm sorry. Okay, that's the screen I'm actually looking at. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I'm not the luckiest person today. Guys. What did I even want? I just wanted to see this message. Maybe people fooled me. Oh well. Did anyone here see, anyone saw this message and knows where it was? We target the attack. What is this? Oh, that's boring. No, where is this? Military targets, evacuation notice. Have you honestly? Yeah, I think what you saw was IDF Persian account. You think? Fine, let's try the Persian account. And what was it in a video? Because that way I wouldn't understand it. No way. No, this one doesn't say it. Do you know where? Do you know which message it was? Come on, all I wanted to see is like them saying it's the Mossad job. This is why are they not doing everything on all languages really for entertainment purposes? What is this? It's very long. Oh yeah, the chief of staff and the highest. Okay, they're dead. Some people are dead. Some important people are dead. Okay, Tusi is reporting it. Okay, so tell me where it is. Where's Tusi reporting it? So you say Tusi found it, and I can't because of anti-Semitism, right? Obviously, there is no other reason. Three planes left Iran. Blah blah blah. Hmm. It's interesting. Like every post they make, they keep stressing the fact that all the civilians are being alerted before every strike, so that there wouldn't be any casualties.
سلامتیش به خطر میاندازد.
Okay, this is not. That's an evacuation. Ah, yes. That's funny. I feel like the moment I close the live, I'll find it. Like for the last 10 minutes, I've been just looking for it. Funny. Hmm.
اهداف بر موج سوم حمله که اندکی پیش آغاز شده بر سایت‌های پرتاب و انبار موشک‌های زمین به زمین در
I don't understand a word, sir. Fine, I gave up. I give up. I give up on finding that. That's it. No, I said I was looking for the message where, like, a lot of people were sending the IDF coordinates to where to strike. And the IDF was like, that's not our job. Send that to the Mossad. And then the Mossad is like, okay, we'll get the coordinates and we're gonna serve in like the first in, first out, right? So, like, oh no, that's not the one. Like the first in, first serve. So people are like, yeah, so send us coordinates, and we're gonna go one by one. Like the first one that came in, they're gonna strike first, and so on and so forth. Which is funny. Yeah, first comes, first serves. Thank you so much. Can you tell? All right. I hope you had fun. So, by the way, what did we decide? Who is Masih like a secret Zionist agent, or is she control the position from Israel, or she control the position from Iran? What are your guys' thoughts? Oh, Iran army wanting to defect were told to call the number. Cool. Where is it? Do you know where? Where can I find it? I know, I have a feeling where I can find it. Probably like if I just go to like the main and just go through the most like post, and somebody probably already shared it. Yeah. It seems like half of Iran working for the Mossad. Yeah, maybe. Could be. Oh, check out this stupid joke. Look. Whoa, see what an Iranian ballistic missile did to this building in Tel Aviv. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. What does this say? Trump is saying as long as the Israelis are fighting, we're not going to fight. Oh, so we'll be like, okay, we're out, and then the Americans are going to swipe in. That's the plan. This is people talking about the Fordo. Oh, that sounds funny. Wait, Israel just refueled over Tehran just for the pics. Yeah, insanity. Refugees who falsely claimed asylum in the UK to escape the Islamic Republic, but now openly support the same regime, have violated the basis of their asylum. It's time to report them to Home Office. That's a nice operation. All right. Is it still alive? I don't get it. Why is it still alive? I want to have like a celebration. Oh, it's so funny. Trump is drinking Trump is drinking Iranian souls with a straw. They're gonna beg him to strike. This person is merciless. I mean, they're like he playing with their minds psychologically so much that they would beg for him to strike. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. That's funny. So much crazying. What is this? Oh, what is this?
Capable of waging a war. There's also the issue of Israel. It seems that even if Iran and the United States will reach an agreement, Israel is still calling to bomb your country. Do you think Israel is capable of waging a war against Iran without the support of the United States?
Israel has never been able to do this, to attack Iran in the past. It is not able to now and will not be able to in the future. Even with the support and help of the US, they are not able to carry out military operations against us. As I said, we are able to defend ourselves even against the US. And the US knows how capable we are. The Israeli regime also knows what our defense capabilities are and what our response to any attack is. Therefore, not only Israel will not think like this and will not have such a possibility, I think America will not take a dangerous risk like this either.
Fascinating. Good job reading good job. Wait, I found, it's not this one. Who is this person? I swear. Shauna, thank you for support and the love. Maybe we use our birds to help. YouTube won't let me say anything right now. What birds? What are we talking about? Oh, anyway, apparently this message here, the one with the Israeli, this one is an interesting. So, is this the Mossad message? No, this one says like, oh, this is the message. Come on, I cannot believe how long it took me. No, I wanna translate it to English directly. I'm suffering. Yes, translate to English. Okay. Dear citizens of Iran, we understand your difficult situation in the shadow of the conflict conditions that the regime has created for you. In recent days, we have received many messages from loved ones who are worried about the current unknown future. Even those who introduce themselves as members of the security institutions of the regime express their fear, despair, and anger about what is happening in Iran and ask us to contact the Israeli authorities so that Iran does not suffer the same fate as Lebanon and Gaza. Here it is necessary to clarify that wait, why did it stop in the middle? Here. Okay. Here it is necessary to clarify that we are not the right authority for such requests. But the list we can do is to refer you to the Mossad website through this link. Maybe you will find a new way to improve your situation there. Be sure to pay attention and make sure you only contact us using external VPN. We understand that you long for a better future. May God be your friend and helper. Well, that ain't it. I thought you were talking about coordinates. Anyway, we've been getting a lot of coordinates in different ways. So I've been fooled. I misunderstood. That is fun. All right, I think that's it. Yeah, New York City might get globalized Intifada mayor. That would be fun. What's like, yeah, America is an interesting place. Like, you know, how long has it been since 9/11? It's been, like, can you imagine, like, 25 years after 9/11, we're going to get Osama bin Laden as the mayor of New York, democratically elected. Okay, all right. Okay, I'm going to go now. Thank you all for being here with me. Bye-bye. I wanted to make it short. And also, I don't know. I didn't get your messages whether you think Masih is on the Iranian side or, I don't know, the good people side, which is our side. We're the good people. So, yeah. I see in the comments. 24 years. Okay, so the elections are soon. Okay, fine. 24 years. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.